Imagine you sell a $100 physical print and you walk away with like $70.
Right.
Now imagine you sell that exact same print to the exact same customer, but you only peak $25.
Gotcha.
And the difference isn't your marketing,
Mm.
it isn't your photography, and it isn't your customer service. It is entirely about who actually packs the box.
That's the brutal reality of it, yeah.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today is Sunday, June 28, 2026, and we are untangling a massive 21-minute guide from yesterday, all about Shopify for photographers.
It's a really dense source, but it's so important.
Because usually when people talk about e-commerce, they assume this clean, linear assembly line. You make a mug, you sell the mug, you ship the mug.
Exactly. But if you're a working photographer or you're trying to become one, that generic advice completely breaks down.
Okay, let's unpack this. Why is there such a massive tug of war between using a giant platform like Shopify versus tools built specifically for photographers like Pixieset or SmugMug?
Well, it breaks down because your delivery mechanism is often the product itself.
Like the secure links or the licensed PDFs.
Right, exactly. A watermarked preview, a digital usage license standard e-commerce platforms just aren't built to handle that native complexity out of the box.
You aren't just selling inventory. You're selling this like chaotic mix of physical art, digital data, and your own physical time.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, it comes down to what software developers call primitives.
Primitives, like the foundational building block.
Exactly. The core blocks a platform is built on. Shopify natively lacks the core primitives of the photography world.
So it doesn't have face recognition delivery to find a specific guest at a massive wedding.
Right. And it doesn't have favoriting workflows where a client can, heart 50 images to build a custom album.
Which is exactly what native tools like Pixieset and Shoeproof were built for.
Precisely. They were built around those exact jobs. But the source material highlights a really profound truth here.
Which is,
Where those native tools excel at client proofing, they hit a hard bottleneck when it comes to sophisticated sales, massive scaling, and complex variant controls.
okay, so trying to build a proofing gallery inside Shopify sounds like buying a Ferrari and spending thousands of dollars to turn it into a moving van.
That is a great way to put it. It's just the wrong vehicle for the job.
I've seen photographers try to smash the two together, though. They pay developers to rebuild a proofing gallery inside a custom Shopify theme
Oh, yeah, and that is an incredibly expensive mistake.
because they want the favoriting, the pin-protected downloads, all custom-coded into Shopify so they only log into one dashboard.
But the source points out that custom coding that almost always costs more than a decade's worth of a Pixieset Pro subscription.
Oh.
A decade.
Yeah. And it still lacks the day one polish and ongoing security updates of a dedicated platform. Shopify is a sales hub. It is not a client gallery system.
So if I shouldn't custom code it, how do I actually connect these two worlds? Am I just creating more administrative nightmares by having two platforms? Not if you do it right. The optimal approach is a hybrid model. You buy your proofing, but you build your sales.
Okay, so I keep SmugMug or Pixieset for the core proofing loops.
Exactly. But instead of sending clients away to a separate link, you embed those galleries directly into your Shopify pages.
Oh, so the client stays on my domain. They're interacting with my main brand.
Right. But the specialized tool is handling all the heavy lifting in the background.
And what if I just need basic privacy for certain clients?
Yeah.
Nothing fancy.
Then you can just use a Shopify app like Locksmith to simply password gate specific private collections.
So you really have to answer honestly based on your last 6 months of business. If client proofing isn't your core loop, and you sell a volume of mixed inventory, Shopify is the right hub.
Exactly. You let the specialists handle the specialty.
Okay, but packing boxes at midnight hits a wall the second you book a busy season.
Oh, absolutely. It's totally unscalable.
So once Shopify is set up as the central sales hub, we have to talk about the brutal math of physical prints.
Right, because how you fulfill an order dictates your margin. There are basically three paths here.
Path 1 is self-printing at home or in the studio.
Yes, which gives you the highest margin, typically 70 to 80%, because you control the materials.
But you max out at roughly 30 orders a week per person before it completely consumes your life, right?
Exactly. You just stop having time to actually shoot.
So you hand it off. Path 2 is utilizing a pro lab, places like WHCC or Bay Photo in the US, or Lossley Color in the UK.
Right. And these labs offer the highest archival quality, perfect for fine art or high-end weddings, but it requires a manual workflow.
Meaning I get the order in Shopify, and I have to manually format the file and upload it to the lab for that specific buyer.
Yeah. And because of the premium quality and that manual touch point, your margin drops to roughly 45 to 60%.
Which brings us to path 3, print on demand or POD, like Perdigi or Gelato.
Exactly. The lowest margin landing between 25 and 40%, but it is fully automated via an API.
You never touch the file or the box.
Right. They print it, pack it, and ship it blindly with your branding.
But I don't have to rigidly pick just one, do I?
No, and you shouldn't. This is where Shopify's locations feature and tags come in.
So I can route standard prints straight to POD automatically, but keep limited editions tagged to route to my studio for a pro lab.
Exactly. You match the manual effort to the product's actual value.
That's brilliant. But shipping logistics sound terrifying. Flat prints up to 16 by 20 can use rigid mailers, but anything larger needs a 3-inch tube.
Yeah, to prevent creasing. And if you attempt flat rate shipping on large framed prints, you will bankrupt yourself.
Intentional weight, right. You're paying for the space the box takes up on the plane.
Exactly. And international shipping is a whole other nightmare.
Right. The surprise customs bills. The source says you have to use duties at checkout for the EU and UK, or buyers will just refuse the delivery.
It happens all the time. They get angry at the VAT bill, refuse it, and you lose the print and the money.
And before shipping anything, test printing with ICC profiles is mandatory.
Always test print one image per finish. You have to use the lab-specific ICC profile so your monitor matches the ink.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The pricing model itself. Most people just look at the price tag of a competitor and copy it.
Which is a huge mistake.
Right, because you're saying a $95 print can yield $70 or $25 depending entirely on the fulfillment path.
Exactly. You cannot guess your prices based on a competitor whose back-end architecture you can't see.
You have to reverse engineer prices from your desired hourly rate.
Yes, the healthy print margin concept. If your business needs an hourly rate of $120 to survive, and an order takes you 15 minutes to process manually,
then your net profit on that specific print after lab and shipping cost has to be at least $30 just to break even on your time.
Precisely. The source argues that most busy and broke photographers actually have a math problem at the price tag, not a marketing problem.
Okay, so we've solved the physical logistics, but the digital dilemma introduces entirely different headaches. Secure delivery and protecting your IP.
Right. Because if Shopify natively disables shipping for digital goods, how does the customer get the file securely?
You have to rely on delivery apps. Shopify handles the transaction, but an app delivers the file.
Exactly. Shopify Digital Downloads is free and handles up to 5 gigabytes.
But if I'm selling sample packs, I might need Fetch app or Sendowl for licenses?
Yeah, Sendowl is great because it adds license keys and actually PDF stamps the buyer's name directly onto the document.
And there are golden rules for settings here. Always set a download limit like 3 per order and a link expiry of, say, 72 hours.
And never deliver a raw file by itself. Always deliver a zipped archive with the file and a one-page license PDF.
Okay, this brings us to the 50 megabyte mistake. I was mind blown by this part of the guide.
It is such a common error.
Never upload a full-resolution, unwatermarked JPEG as the Shopify product image. It's like putting the original Mona Lisa in the display window and then acting surprised when someone just takes it.
That's exactly what it is. Because Shopify's CDN caches it forever.
Wait, so if Shopify serves the 50 megabyte file, what does that do to the website?
Well, it's a double disaster. First, tech-savvy people can just publicly fetch the master file from the CDN even if you delete the product later.
Which is terrifying. And the second part?
It completely tanks your page speed. Mobile phones choke trying to load a billboard-sized image, and that destroys your conversion rates.
So what's the optimal upload?
What's fascinating here is that the optimal upload size is actually a long edge of 2,500 pixels at a JPEG quality of 80.
Because that allows the Shopify CDN to efficiently auto-serve modern WebP formats for mobile.
Exactly. And you must complete your protection stack. Bash watermark your previews with an app like Watermarkly.
And strip the EXEF data. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, it's crucial. Use Lightroom or EXIF so your exact GPS locations and camera serial numbers don't leak to the public.
And always have a DMCA workflow ready for when someone inevitably steals an image for a t-shirt site.
Unfortunately, yeah, you have to be ready for that.
Okay, so we have physical and digital secured. Now, business architecture. If I have one image and I sell it in different sizes, finishes, and digital licenses, I don't want 100 confusing product pages.
And you don't have to. That's the power of Shopify variants. Most photographers under-monetize by viewing an image as one product at one price.
But variants allow one clean product page to have drop-downs for everything. A physical POD print, a ProLab canvas, a personal download, and a commercial license.
All from one single URL. It completely changes the monetization of an asset.
And what if I'm selling my time? Like a booking?
Just mark the product as a service so Shopify doesn't try to deduct inventory. If you're solo, use an app like Appointo.
But if I'm booking, like, over 5 sessions a week?
Then you need to step out of Shopify for the booking flow and use a real CRM like Sprout Studio, Irisworks, or Honeybook.
And for in-person sales at art fairs, there's Shopify POS Lite, which is free, or POS Pro for studios.
Right. It all ties back to the central hub.
I want to talk about upgrading plans, though. Usually people upgrade software when they want cooler features, but the source says it's literally just a math equation.
It is purely a card fee equation. The basic plan is $39 a month and charges 2.9% plus 30 cents a swipe.
And the Shopify plan is $105, but the fee drops to 2.7%.
Exactly. So you only upgrade when that 0.2% savings exceeds the $66 price difference.
Which happens at roughly $33,000 a month in online gross merchandise volume.
Right. This raises an important question. Are you making business decisions based on vanity or based on math?
Math. Always the math. Okay, segment 5, marketing and the invisible legal layer. You have a perfect store, but nobody is visiting.
Don't waste money early on broad Google ads for terms like photography prints. It burns cash.
So focus on image SEO. Clean file names, not just img8675.jpg, and descriptive ALT text.
Yes. And Pinterest is huge. Buyers actively save what they intend to buy later, so use rich pins.
And local SEO for wedding pros. But the real revenue engine seems to be email.
Oh, absolutely. A tool like Klaviyo should account for 25 to 35% of mature revenue.
Using automated flows, right. Welcome emails, gallery print, nurture flows, abandoned cart, review requests.
And even license renewal flows. They run in the background 24/7.
So what does this all mean? When you look at the legal and tax layer, it feels like stepping on a landmine if you aren't paying attention.
It is complex. U.S. sales tax on digital goods varies by state line, so you have to use Shopify Tax to automate it.
And the EU wants a cut of everything. A digital preset sold there means EU VAT applies from the first euro.
Right, so you register for OSS on the one-stop shop to automate that compliance.
And legally, keep a signed model release for commercial licenses. What about refund policies?
Your policy must explicitly state, digital files are non-refundable once the download link has been accessed. Otherwise, you'll lose chargeback disputes.
Speaking of chargebacks, for high-ticket physical prints, like a $1,200 fine art piece, you must require sign for delivery.
Yes. If you don't have a signature to fight a friendly fraud chargeback, you will lose the print and the money.
All these automated compliance tools and consulting an accountant, it isn't an expense, is it?
No, it's the hallmark of transitioning from a hobbyist to a business owner. It's the armor that protects the incredible margins you've built.
That perfectly summarizes the ultimate lesson from these sources. Don't fight the platform split.
Right. Don't force one tool to do everything.
Use Shopify to master the math of margins, variance, and automated POD while letting specialized tools handle the proofing and client CRM.
Exactly. And, when you look at all of this, if a single image can be a physical print, a digital download, a commercial license, and part of a bundle, does the traditional definition of a photographer still apply? Or in the age of Shopify, is the modern photographer actually a highly diversified digital holding company, just masquerading behind a camera lens?
A digital holding company masquerading behind the lens. Think about how many unrealized products are just sitting on your hard drive right now.
It's a gold mine if you architect it right.
Absolutely. Go look at your own image catalog with fresh eyes. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.